it's so accepted. It's just like nothing. It's accepted.
I know.
Like, oh yeah. And I mean, talk about racism, and I just feel like it can't go on any longer without being identified. And the fact that it's being stoked for political aims right now in America, that's so sad. And it has
Yeah.
to be talked about, it has to be dragged out and asked, why is this happening? What are we allowing here? And I think, God, who's colluding with what? Like
Right.
Q said, be careful who you follow. Remember that, one of my favorite Q things. Be careful who you follow, because you don't know. Like when they talk about white supremacists, and they always come like for like Larry Elder or
Trump.
whatever black person like Candace Owen or anybody who's not doing the party line thing. Biden's party line, of course, being that the Democrat Party is the liberator of all people of color, which is so not true. So not true. But you've got to keep saying it. And, I ran for president in 2012, and Cynthia McKinney was my campaign manager,
Right.
and she's from Georgia.
Exactly.
And so we had to sue the state of Georgia to help me try to get on the ballot there. And right now, I just want to say it's very cool for me to see that the lawsuit that I personally paid for and filed and won in Georgia is having a lot to do with the Democrat machine losing a bit of its hold on the minds of Georgia people. And anyway, yeah, I think I got fired because I've always had a conversation going with people of color in America. I have real high OKs in that area, and always had, and was always very, very proud that I had done that. In 2012, when I ran for president, I ran as the black representative of the black caucus of the Green Party, with Cynthia McKinney as my campaign manager, and Thomas Muhammad also, who is with Black United Front in Texas, and Farheen Hakim, also one of my campaign managers. And because we all believe in America. We all had that conversation. We all believe in America, and we love America because America is a place that's for individual rights. Those other countries, they won't let old Jewish ladies like me with big mouths come out here and say what we think. I
Right.
can't get a job anyplace but here, and they're trying to shut me down here too. But they better not. I'm telling you what, it, it just won't be good if America loses the right to freedom of speech, whether by fear or by law or by pandemic. We can't let them do that. We cannot let them go that far. You give them an inch, they take 20 miles, but they
Right.
can't do it. We let them, over a word. Be careful what word, and they really use words as code words, code words that bring violence, and people really need to let that get in there and think about it. And one of those is racist. That's a dog whistle word, and they've used it on me. And here I was there in the 60s and 70s, and part of the 80s, helping to wire and write all that crap, till I heard the things they really say about Jews. And of course, to me, that means all people of color. If they say about Jews, it's not far behind what they're saying about Black people, Hispanics, or anything
Right.
else. I know that much.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, that's one thing I was looking at today. I was looking at our country, and our country is 2% Jewish, 5.8% Asian, and 12% Black. So the three groups that are in this very low minority are right now, it seems, being turned against each other, used as fodder. And the critical race theory should include well, first of all, it's all Marxism and it's
It
used to
is
control us.
Marxism.
And it was called critical theory before they realized they could pop in race and make it even worse. But a
Yeah,
lot of my black friends and people I have on, they look at Black Lives Matter, at defund the police, at critical race theory, at no jail time, no bail, and now the mandates as another war on the black community by
oh,
the
it totally
communists.
is.
Democrats.
Totally is a
And
war
I
on the
think people
black
need to
middle
wake
class.
up to this. Yeah, yeah,
It's a total war on the black middle class. It totally is a black business owners that, mom and pop shops. When you saw like Target and Walmart, co-signing with all this destruction of mom and pop
right.
stores during the riots and stuff. But it is so encoded with code words in our mind, and we're so totally MK Ultra mind controlled, thinking that something's good when it's not, thinking totally colluding in our own destruction out of
Right.
ignorance and arrogance. And I mean, any
And
place that
and
there's a talking down to people have to be
right.
aware that any place where they're talking down to anybody, like going, yeah, they're a bunch of this and that, that's a trick on you.
Yeah. I've done a lot of work on the Great Reset and the World Economic Forum and the history of the UN and the Fourth Reich, really, and the history of what is going on with the central banking cabal, top down. The fourth industrial revolution is the plan. None of this is conspiracy theory. They write books
That's
about it, they
right.
have meetings about it. And the truth is that they talk. This is where we have to meet in the middle in America, and we have to all decide that we love this country. We are Americans, and that is a gift from God to have been born and be American citizens. And the truth is, right now we're at a precipice where they're trying to really separate people, divide and conquer, and people are playing along. But behind closed doors, if you look into these speeches they give in Davos and Bilderberg, they're talking about us all as useless eaters, irresponsible breeding machines, and they don't mean Jews or blacks or anyone. They mean all of us. We are. They talk about us like we're peasants. I just played on the show the other day a woman at the World Economic Forum talking about the elites as the elites and saying that it's the masses that don't trust us. Well, yeah, because this whole thing with race and cancel culture and ending the First Amendment is really about full and total control over the entire society, and dividing us into groups is how they're doing it. This has always been, and you and I've talked about, you have a lot of history with the Holocaust, with Holocaust survivors. People have to remember it started in 1931. It didn't start at the gas
Yeah.
chambers. That was the
Yeah.
last phase. And a
Yeah.
lot
And
of
it
that
was
is
a
very
frog. It
similar.
was the frog in the boiling water. Slowly, slowly, you turn up the heat. He'd tell he don't even realize that he's being boiled to death. That's how they do it.
Yeah,
That's
and
why
right
it
now our
starts with the
taxpayer
word.
dollars are
Like
paying
Joe
for
Rogan saying this, a horrible word, but it is a word.
a word.
And
Yeah,
so you're going to regulate a word, and that word's going to bring violence if someone uses it. Then we are exactly where they want us.
right, right. And honestly, you brought up Rogan, and they've taken off 130 of his shows. I hear again with you. Obama was also involved in what happened with you. He's involved in
Uh-huh.
this. I know
Yeah.
that he's not technically in the White House, but we know Susan Rice is, and all the other people that were involved. And the bottom line is they're globalists, and this is an easy way for them to create chaos and division between us. What they're doing. But the truth is, we really, as American citizens, have to realize that none of us are safe from their end goal. None of us. And I always say to people, yeah, the Jews were first, but if you go and do the research I did into the Third Reich, it was about a superior race and getting rid of anyone they didn't deem necessary to procreate. It is the same exact plan as the Great Reset out of Davos and the World Economic Forum with transhumanism, and they're
Yeah, it
just
is.
recycling it to be. They want eugenics on this
Yeah,
planet.
they
It has
do.
always been
They
the goal.
they wanted they wanted free and fettered slavery through Algeria to Africa. They wanted
Oh,
to
what's
get
going on in
they
Africa is disgusting. Talk about Black Lives Matter. They have pillaged
and
that
they want
native.
their eugenicism. They want their experiments. They want
Yeah,
to do their experiments in dignity for them. I
yeah.
mean, it's just, oh my God
Also,
Almighty!
I've done a lot of looking into what happened over all these wars. And first of all, the American people should be very concerned with our military industrial complex. We've been around for what, 300 years, and we've been at war the whole time in some way, shape, or form that has helped nobody. But I really looked a lot into what happened in Libya. And I will tell you,
Ugh,
he was loved by his people. And right now, Libya is a slave nation where you can buy people on the street for $10.
black
Uh,
people.
completely decimated. What he wanted was he wanted out of the central banking cabal, out of the petrodollar. His gold all disappeared after the Clintons and all of them went into, honestly, 2014 was a color revolution that was sanctioned by the fraudulent United Nations. It was actually
Oh,
Samantha Power and Blinken and Biden and Soros. And we're same thing in Ukraine, and we're dealing with this now, and we really have to start turning a lens on what are all these wars about? Because the wars in the Middle East, we had plenty of people, millions of people, innocent people die over all these wars. And to find out that really the financial gain is all the same people that are manipulating America and trying to destroy us from the inside out now. The people, the players at the very top have not changed. And I was happy once Trump made a speech and he said that there was an invisible
well,
empire.
war. Wait, let me say this:
No, you go.
war is a cover for slavery. That's why they go in there, and that's what they do is they take their slaves. But you have to look at like how huge is slavery right now.
Huge.
How huge is slavery and drugs? Slavery,
Well,
drugs,
they're related. They're
weaponry.
related.
It all goes together, but those are it's like the crime economy versus, the destructo economy. That's what the central bank is about,
Right.
right?
They
That's
financed
it.
both sides of every war, both sides of every war since you can date it back if you do the research to the French Revolution. The same exact people, and they just, these people stay within their hierarchy, and it's a lot of inbreeding, and it's a lot of keeping it in these families, and nobody can come in, and then you add in the technocrats and the trillionaires and then they're people. But we're talking about a very small group of people who have decided amongst themselves that they will decide for 7 billion people on this planet how we are supposed to live. And you and I believe in God and inalienable rights, and that nobody should decide, and we're all born with unique talents and should have everything we need because there's plenty of money, it's all being hoarded, that every
There's
person
plenty of
can achieve.
everything.
Right.
Can you
That's the truth.
believe that United States? Well, I just want to say this. If we ever get our head out of our ass, there we have this beautiful framework of a constitution, which, I mean, oh my God, if we could only practice that and have that be the
Right.
basis of our country, it's so well thought out. And I mean, who else but these guys, these crazy genius guys, as crazy and entitled as they were, and slave owning nuts and this and that, but to come up still with the idea of inalienable rights, that, and to put it on paper as as in the founding of a new nation, is that right there is just incredible enough.
Yeah. And
And then
that's what the
all the things
people
that have
hate.
happened after that. I mean, in America, it is an ongoing experiment. And this is like some other big chapter in it that we're living in right now. And like you say, oh, but people, and Kathy says too, because she's the ray of sunshine in all this. But
I
it's
know.
like she's saying, oh, yeah, well, the American people are stepping up to do what they know they got to do. They got to
Yeah.
serve, you got to serve. Well, I said that in 2012, and I said it's going to take a lot of grandparents. You're going to have to give up your golf games. If you got extra time and money, you're going to have to serve.
Yeah.
Sorry. But it could be like, the army, like Roosevelt had the bonus army. we could actually work for the country by, but no, you don't want to do that because then it'll go crooked. People, this whole Congress should be cab drivers, grandparents,
Yeah.
plumbers, people who do the work that make things go in each community. It should be community based human beings in these seats with term limits.
Right.
It shouldn't take $1 billion to lose an election. That's what it
No.
took. It's
Yeah.
that is just bullshit.
Yeah. Well, also our elections, we should get money and lobbying out of DC. I mean, I honestly, I look at it, I think only the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and our inalienable rights given by God are the only things that should be in DC. They've started all these unconstitutional committees all the way down to the TSA. You and I have talked about the Patriot Act was written 2 years before 9/11. So this was a long game that they're still playing, and there's too many American citizens that don't realize that the biggest problem for these globalists, these one world government great resetters, is the United States Constitution and our Bill of
Absolutely.
Rights.
Absolutely. That's all that stands in the way between
Yeah,
them and the big jackpot, which is owning, like Klaus, I say Klaus Barbie, but what is it? Klaus, what's his name?
Schwab.
Schmidt?
You know,
Schwab.
his own camera saying that
He's
he
like,
owned.
you
I
will,
have it
you
in
will
video.
own nothing and you'll be happy as hell as you tap dance there.
He also means whoever survives will own nothing and be happy. This is a long game. They've been playing it for 50 years. They plan at that United Nations in America to do exactly what's happening now. And unfortunately, Trump threw a wrench in their game, and now they're in full speed ahead. But all people have to do is look it up. And then you know what they're doing now. They're instead of because the real fascism is when the corporations join with the government to enslave the people, and
That's
we're
right.
way past that point. And
Oh, yeah.
I keep saying like Kathy says it too. Kathy and I go and speak to people like in groups large and small. You used to. Bottom line is this is our country. It's supposed to be by the people for the people. And as I always say, Jefferson said, Jefferson demanded the Bill of Rights be in there. There was a big debate between him and Hamilton and Madison. 10 years worth of the Federalist Papers. Anyone can read. They're debating. But the truth is that they were saying that without the Bill of Rights, this would never be able to work. And that's why it matters so much. And what they're doing right now with installing this rogue foreign controlled regime in DC is chipping away at the Bill of Rights. That's the
Yes,
real goal
absolutely.
here.
Well, they did it. They nullified the votes of the citizenry. I mean, they
Right.
stole our votes. And I don't get why people are so brain dead or something. People are really brain dead where it comes to what they did to me, too. I mean, I have to
I
hammer on
know.
that just for a minute. Look, they gave Whoopi a 2-week vacation, and I have to say, Terrence, thank you, Terrence. Terrence made a video about that. Thank you, Terrence. And
Oh, yeah, I know you love him.
and well, he's so funny and smart and cute and nice. But yeah, they gave her a 2-week vacation. But look what they did to me for purposely. Okay, I was going to say they said, well, let's see how the community handles this. Well,
Right.
okay, I hung up the phone and I'm not kidding. 2 minutes later comes Wanda Sykes' um, tweet, and it goes, "Oh my God, something about let me off this show, some shit." So, but that was because she had not, her contract had not been renewed, and she's just like that kind of a person. So she saw an opportunity to, you know, take a swipe at me and call my tweet racist.
Well,
Never
here's the
even
thing.
calling
They
me
should have
up, but
pulled
she
the
didn't even
show.
call me, and I had given her a job and everything, man, and, she didn't even call me after us working together on several projects and knowing who I am and everything to say, "Did you mean to say that, this woman, uh, looks like," or anything.
Yeah, but people need to know they didn't cancel your show. They canceled you. It was your show, your life's work, your character. It came back. America was so excited to have you back in their living room. And then they kept the show and got rid of you. And then had killed your character.
They
I
killed
mean,
me,
it's
so I
insane.
can't ever work as that character.
I know.
They killed Roseanne Connor. They killed her. Whoopi gets 2 weeks off for saying the Holocaust was no big deal. It's just something white people did to other white people, which, oh my God, she should be ashamed of herself.
She's
Please
not.
take the name Goldberg off, girl,
She's not
please.
ashamed of herself. She's mad that they're even questioning what she was saying. And look, I saw Bill Maher and other people come out and then kind of defend her. And of course, she went on Colbert, but we all know about him and said this, but she wasn't apologizing. And at the end of
No,
the day, it's still, you didn't, they stole your life's work and continued on. And that was, I think, more than anything else, that's where the real issue is. And, I'm watching what they're doing to
and then
Rogan.
they
I met him.
formed.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
Because
what they
Rogan
did to
stuck
me, I
up
can't
for you.
even talk about it. I can't even talk.
Rogan was one of
I'm
the
not
only
allowed.
people. Go ahead. Wait, what? I didn't hear it.
I'm not allowed to talk about what happened.
Well, that's
But
not
you
because
know
you're
what?
God.
But it's like, uh, yeah, it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. But you know, why
Maybe
did they
you
do
and
that?
Whoopi,
I
she
don't
should
even
reach
know
out
why
to you.
did they want me back on. Why did they want me back so bad? Was it to get rid of me? I think it was.
What you stood for. What did you stand
Yeah.
for? Honestly, what did you stand for? I know what your show is about. We've talked about it a million times. What did you stand for? Because it's in the last
I
2 years.
stood for the United American family, the strong, united, loving, forgiving, accepting uh, American family who tells the truth.
Yep. Unconditional
No like,
love, family
no
unit.
like
There
it.
is a war on the family unit too, as well. They don't want the family anymore. When Hillary wrote "It Takes a Village," they meant it. They don't want kids to have strong family values and strong families anymore.
No, they don't want individualism, which is another reason why they hate the Bill of Rights in our Constitution. They just hate that individualism. They only like that hive mind, the mentality of the hive mind. Because I the human being goes in between those two things. That's a big mental thing that we all go back and forth with. What part of me is just mine and what part belongs to the community or my family or, my partner? What's just mine and what part do I share? That's a big thing people deal with. And,
Well, that's a big thing people need to start dealing with right now, because you and I talk about it on a bigger scale, good versus evil, God versus no God. This transhumanist AI agenda is anti-God. I hope people realize that, and they are full speed ahead with it. And the censorship has a lot to do with it. But it's so sad that more people have to go inside and really question what they believe right now, because we are in big danger. We have been captured in America, and people don't
yeah,
realize that a foreign
no,
entity has captured our country.
well, they first captured our minds a long, long time ago, which is why I wanted to be on television because I wanted to make sure that one little light stayed on through it. So it's good that that went on. And that was about, well, you know, rain or shine, you have your family. Stay close with
Yeah.
your family. And,
Yeah,
but
before we end, I
really
want to
said
ask you
the truth.
something really important.
Yeah.
Because we've left out mental health and psychology and emotions. They've dehumanized us in such a way and put us all down to the lowest common denominator through the last 2 years of the COVID. And I am watching what they're doing to Rogan, all of these people that have been canceled, shut down, Laura Logan, a lot of people.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you tell me psychologically how this tactic, You see, the left, there's the move ons, the media matters. They don't want to cancel people. They want to destroy people from the inside out. And if you
Yeah.
could talk about what this mentality and this gang culture of destruction and eliminating humanity, humans, does to one's insides, because you went through a lot of pain, and I'm sure
Yeah, well,
everyone else
that's
has.
what I really wanted to talk about. So maybe let's continue talking, but switch this over to one my show. But I really want to talk about this because this is Adar, and I told you I really want to speak as a Jew. Can we do that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Because
great.
I think people have to get back to the thing of like uh, humanity, that we're all brothers and sisters in the eyes of God, and we should all be striving for everyone to meet their potential and have all the opportunities and not be shut down and shut off. And it's gone too far. And I think a lot of people don't want to touch your story right now because it's the ultimate example of what we're dealing with in terms of picking and choosing who can have a voice and who cannot, and who can live free and prosper and who cannot. So, any last words before we move on?
Um, yeah, they manufactured it all themselves because they canceled my show before even one sponsor pulled out. And the screaming went like this. Wanda Sykes, she was mad because she didn't get her contract picked up because she never showed up for work and she wasn't funny. And then and a lot of other things. Uh, but then Sarah Gilbert, she was the dagger in the heart. And it
I
was
know.
really weird too because my sister said, "Watch out for her. She means to take everything you got." And I'm like, "Come on, sis, you're such a paranoid lesbo." Well, anyway, so so that was like the 1, 2, and then Sandra Bernhardt 3. And then that girl that I gave the job to play Darlene's kid, 4. Everybody I had, you know, given a job to and given power to turned on me. And they had been stalking me the whole time, though, reading my tweets daily, calling, monitoring me. Everything they asked me to erase, I did, including like that one kid, Hog, with a black armband, which was clearly anti Semitic. And I said, "This is clearly anti Semitic." And they said, "Take that tweet down." I did for ABC. But, a lot of fat good that did me. But, I just go, "Can I get my show back?" I mean, you're letting Whoopi back, and they let all those pedos back. They had hundreds of thousands of tweets about rubbing little boys'
I
uh,
know.
privates. They got their shit back. Can I get my
Right.
show back? But that'd be so much work because I'd have to, I have to revamp everything.
Well, you're not done. I know that. But, a lot of people were
I
rooting
think
for
I
you.
am. I got ink at the stomach for what they did to me, and they all knew it was bullshit too. But ew, I just can't even imagine. But I'm not like them. And that's the thing that I've realized the last few years. I'm not like them. I wouldn't sell my friend out for money. I'm not like them. I wouldn't have done it.
I know. And we like solutions. So let's end on, for people that do have are feeling demoralized and dehumanized, and like our country is going in a really wrong direction. What advice do you have for the people out there that are loved your show and got so much out of it, and it was stolen from them, it was stolen from us, but went to you for wisdom and truth? What do you say to those people right now?
Um, well, I left. I wanted to do a 10th season, and I did. And that's what I wanted to leave was 10 years work. And I did. So, I hope you enjoy it. I think in those 10 years, I did pretty much everything I wanted to do as as that character and within that family, telling that particular story. I like to tell a new story now about this crusty old bat and what kind of trouble she can get herself into now. So, I'm doing some writing, but I'm praying a lot for our country, and I'm praying a lot as a Jew, and it's coming up Adar. Well, this is Adar, and this is the month of women and of increased joy. So I want to talk about that because women who feel increased joy is the number one thing this planet needs more of. That's what
Right.
we got to get busy on right away.
I hear ya. We laugh a lot. That's the truth, and you got to find the humor in it all. But we need to really all wake up, go inside, reconnect with God. It doesn't matter what God. It just matters that you respect your fellow men and you realize how lucky you are to be in America and be an American citizen. And remember that that is a true gift from God, and you are a true gift from God. And I could not love you more. And I'd like you to come
I
back
love
and we can
you
talk
too.
about Purim and a
Oh, we
lot of
got
the
to
things.
talk about Purim, the day
Yeah,
when a woman set everybody straight.
yeah, it's coming. We always talk about the Purim boomerang. We've been waiting for 3 years. But thank you so much.
Is
I think
anything
people,
going to happen? Let me ask you something. Is
yeah.
anyone ever going to get arrested?
Listen, I think this is God's battle. It's God's war. God is winning. We have to keep fighting on the front lines. But yes, I do believe that this next year will be a year of truth and justice and disclosure. No matter what, nobody can stop what's coming, in my opinion. And I adore you and love you, and that you've
I
survived
love you.
this battle to be on the front line still is truly a miracle and a gift. Thank you so much for being
You're
here
a
and being my
doll.
friend. I
Yes,
love
and
you.
thank you too. I love you as well.
We'll do it again soon. Keep
Okay,
fighting,
cool.
love.
You too,
Thank you.
baby. Love
Bye bye.
you.
Olivia wanted to
Ah,
say
look
hi
at
real quick.
Oh, look at me.
Hey,
I'm a
it's
cousin,
Granny.
Baber, and you
She can't
can
hear you.
do
Hold on.
what you say. Hello, Baber. Hello.
It's
Oh, I
Granny.
want to go see that Baber, and you can
Look,
do
it's
what
Granny.
you say. I will go over there and see that Baber and get a hold of it and clean that baby so good, it's so dang cute. I'm going to get a hold of it and scour that baby because it is so dang cute. Hi.
Say hi. All
Hi,
right, I'm
babe.
gonna stop recording.
Okay.
I love you. Good show.
Love you, yeah?